I wanted to make this into this, but I didn't want to pay a lot of money for a single card. Go ahead. I struggled for hours to try to figure this out. I'm frugal and I wanted to figure out a way to do this myself. So join me now so I can save you hours of frustration that I spent.
Please subscribe and ring the bell.
Hi, I'm Kristen with Kristen's Cricut Corner. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take an image off of Google search and transform that either JPEG image or PNG into an SVG on Cricut Design Space. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is just open your search engine. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to just type in free Valentine, and I'm going to do Dinosaur clip art. And I'm going to use this image right here. So all you need to do is just right click and say save image as, and then I'm going to do Dino Heart. Name it what you would like. Okay, so now I can close this out. And now I'm going to open up my Cricut Design Space. Okay, once you have your Cricut Design Space open, you want to click on New Project. And then you want to click on the Upload button, and then click Upload Image and Browse. And for mine, it is under Downloads, and it was Dino Hearts. And click Open. Then the next thing you want to do is you can click on, like, Complex would be the easiest because you have a lot more options. And then if you hit preview, you can see that the background is already removed. But the next thing we need to do is now I'm going to click on advanced options, and I'm actually going to reduce the colors, and this is going to help actually make this a little bit easier to add the colors back. So if you do reduce colors to 2, and then you want to actually start deleting everything except for the outline. So I'm going to delete all of these. And then if the items are too small, you can go here and just zoom in, so it makes it a little bit easier to do the spots in the smaller areas. Oops. And if you mess up, just click the undo button. And don't worry about, you see all these the red things around here, don't worry about those. That is not actually going to matter when we do this. Zoom in just a little more to get to the flower here. Okay, well, let's move a little bit more. And you want to do the best you can. It does not have to be perfect. Okay, so now the next thing you do is preview, and you can see that you know, the lines are nice and thick, and this is actually going to work out great. So now you want to hit continue, and then you also want to make sure you are not selecting the print then cut. You want to just save as cut. So make sure you click on this, and then you can rename it if you want, and then hit save. Now you want to click on this one and hit insert image. So now we get started on slicing and getting these and turning them into an SVG. So what I would also recommend doing first is just hitting the duplicate button several times. It just makes it a little bit quicker. I just kind of keep them up here in the corner to pull down. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is just, you want to make a shape. Let's start with the hearts, for instance. So we're going to turn the shape and we're going to make it red. And then I'm going to drag one of these down and I'm going to just pull it over, and actually it really just has to go over the area that we're making the colors. And then you just drag and highlight both of those. It can only be one layer at a time, so the original image and the red. And then you go down here to slice and hit slice. And don't worry about, yes, it cut the dinosaur's head off, so that's okay. That's why we made lots of duplicates. So now this up here, you want to click on and hit down here contour. And then really what we're going to do is just keep these three hearts highlighted. So you want to actually unhighlight all of these other ones, and the eyes, and the nose. And this, when you highlight those, that hides them. So then when you unclick, that erased the hearts. Sometimes you have to just play around. Okay, that kept one of them. There's actually, because there's in outline and not, you just have to keep playing around with which ones need to be deleted and which ones need to be kept. Okay, there's that, and then we need to hide the eyeballs. You can always scroll down here and find, okay, so that one we need to hide. Okay, so there is the hearts remaining. So if you bring this over here, you can see that this lines up perfectly. So now we have the hearts. I'm going to just move them out of the way so we don't have to worry about them right now. Now the next thing I'm going to do, let's do the pink dinosaur on the left. So now we will make her pink. And then you want to just unlock this if you need to make the square bigger. And it's okay if it highlights or covers up any of the things we've done already. It's just less things we have to hit later if you have less. Okay, so have it covering the entire dinosaur, and then you want to just again drag and highlight those, both of them, and hit slice. And then you want to pull away. Go ahead and delete that one. And let's delete both of these. And then you want to hit on contour. And for this particular dinosaur, what I'm going to do is keep the dinosaur pink, and then I'm going to make the little spikes a different pink. So for this one, I'm going to hide that, hide her arms. That's the foot. We're going to keep that in the hand. That one we can hide, and we're going to hide all the spikes. And again, this is kind of trial and error in figuring out. Every image is going to be slightly different, but this breaks down to all the different shapes that you need to hide, or that you're trying to color, or that will allow you to color. You can either click them on here, or like, as you saw, I was doing it over here on the actual image. Okay, so you can see that that actually did not color the dinosaur. Okay, so there we go. I just clicked on that one, and then we need, what else do we need to hide those. Oh, actually the spots don't matter because we're going to actually have those different colors. So we are actually good with this image right here. So again, if you kind of drag it over here, it's behind it, but you can see that that's the color. Okay, so now we're going to do her spikes and spots. So drag a new one down here in a shape. Again, you could do a circle, and actually I'm going to do that. So that would probably we make that an oval, it'd be a little bit easier actually to get the spots and the spikes. So then again, highlight that, change this into, I'm gonna do another different pink. Okay. And then you just highlight again both images and hit slice. Pull these away and delete them. And delete those. And then make sure this one's highlighted and hit contour. Alright, pull those off. We're going to keep the spikes. And then actually, I think we just do that. And then we want to pull off that bottom little shape. Whatever that is. Okay, and there we go. There is the spikes. Okay, so now let's work on the boy dinosaur. Alright, so we might as well start with the spikes and the spots. So I'm going to put those over there, change this green, do a dark green, again highlight both of them and hit slice, pull these away, and delete all of these, highlight it and hit contour, erase those. And it's always helpful if you just if you're not quite sure what you want to erase, just kind of pulling back and seeing what is still showing up. Okay, there we go. There's the boy spikes, and now we're going to do the dinosaur. So I'm going to actually do an oval again, so I'm going to unlock it this time and just kind of pull it, and then turn this one green, a different shade this time, and highlight both, hit slice, pull them off and start deleting these. You also make it's a lot easier, make sure you don't use your last one, so make sure you duplicate them. You can go ahead and just go to your upload and reinsert it, but again, it's an extra step. Click on contour, let's get rid of that, and the spikes. And this little thing up here, and his nails, and the flower. And let's kind of see in here what we have. Okay, we're getting close. And again, it's practice and trial and error. It's not a perfect way to do this, but it definitely works well, and it takes a little bit of time to do it, but it's absolutely possible without having to pay all kinds of money and trying to buy other people's SVGs, especially for a project that you're going to use just maybe once. Let's see where we're at. Okay, there we go. And we've got our spots. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is the flower. We are almost finished with this. So I'm going to just make this smaller. And I'm going to make this flower red. Also. Highlight that, slice it, pull it away, delete these. Let's go to contour. Yeah, let's get rid of the outline and all this stuff down here. Okay, and it looks like the middle is connected, but there's an easy fix for this. All we actually need to do is, I'm going to make the middle yellow, is just make a circle and a yellow, and I'm going to just zoom in. And then I'm going to just make my circle And as you can see that is not a perfect circle, so I'm going to actually make this an oval in a minute to make that fit. And then just turn it this way. And you can, you know, play around with it, make it as perfect or imperfect as you want. But again, as it cuts the paper out and you are, you know, gluing them on top of each other, or if it's vinyl sticking them on top of each other, it ultimately isn't going to be that big of a deal. Okay, so now we're actually ready to put together our dinosaur. So I'm going to just start pulling these over here. We're going to have to just kind of play around with them. And then we'll have to layer the black will, the outline will go on the top. But you want to get them about in the right, as close to the right order as possible. And then so that one I'm going to say some to that. And this one will be here. And pull the hearts down. And then, okay, we're pretty close. And then back a little bit. So she's perfect. And the hard part is getting these moved. It ultimately doesn't matter because when you go to print, if you just want to see what it looks like, it doesn't matter if they're not perfectly lined up because they are all the exact same size. But I just wanted to show you how that works. But it's really hard to grab the back layer when the black one is on the top. So sometimes you have to move that one out of the way and just make small adjustments. There you go, he's really close. And then if you want, you can just erase if you have any extras. Oops, and then the flower. And again, the cool part about this is you can make any picture, any color you possibly want. The key is you want to have an image that has an outline because you need to erase all the colored parts in order to make it into an SVG. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do before I get this printed is I'm going to add a text, and this is for a card, and actually I'm going to say hug me on one side. Say, I am trying on the other side, since they don't have long arms. And then I'm going to just click on this and change the font. It's too close, so I'm going to ungroup those letters and I'm going to just move. But I am trying apart a little bit more. And then I'm going to highlight those again. Move that out of the way first. All right. This is actually the part that isn't hard to get around, is when you have things in the way, it's really hard to click on the ones that you don't want. Alright, Okay, the last step before we print this is we want to make sure that we erase this top layer right here because it's just the outline. The Cricut is not going to be able to print this effectively because it is so thin and so detailed. So how we get that, the look and make this solid is we go back to upload and click on upload image and browse, and you want to find the same image that you used before, and mine was Dino Heart, and click on open. I'm just going to click complex again, and that's all you actually need to do. You don't need to, because the background is already erased, you just click on continue, make sure it's the cut image, and click on save. And then you just click on that image and say insert. And there you go. You have the solid background. All you need to do now is say send to back. And you can see that now if you were to print this out on cardstock or vinyl, that you would be able to have the black on the back, the back layer, and then you can layer the other pieces on top, whether it's vinyl or cardstock. As you can see that the eyes are not going to show through, so all you need to do to fix that is to click on one of them. Oops. So click on that and click on contour again, and then you can just click on the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I don't think that the eyes didn't work. Okay. And then it will cut the holes in there so the black will show through the background. For warning, if you're doing vinyl, I think this would work probably fairly well. Some cardstocks may not work super great given they are very tiny. There's a potential that it might tear it because it is so tiny that the blade may not do well, but you can certainly try it. Or if you don't want to have to deal with messed up cardstock, you could also just take a little marker and design your own face to it. And then make sure you go ahead and delete the outline layer because you definitely do not want one to waste that and for it to try to print that because it will make your cutting board a mess and will not be successful. And then we are ready to print. And as you can see here, it just has the outline here and the wording. And then all of the other layers are ready to go. And then just make sure you adjust your material sizing and the type of materials that you're using, whether you're using cardstock or vinyl or whatever materials, and then go ahead and hit continue. And then you're ready to print.